Welcome traders, and thank you for joining me. This is Mike Hamilton from Trade the Easy Way, and this is one of my favorite charts at the moment. This is the pound yen, and I think we are potentially going to get to 200 fairly soon, I think, if we can get a nice close into tomorrow. I am buying pullbacks on this one. Got a little bit of a buffer on second pullback I bought. Got stopped out the first one. Got in too early on the first one. Bought this overnight post Fed because I got a reasonable run out of that, and then just bought pullbacks. It slipped back from 460 to 460 to 360. It slipped back 100 points in the US session on the back of the weak GDP and weak jobs data. So I'm just looking to see if this can hold this 385 area and punch higher and build towards that 200 mark. But I like the patterns. Yeah, we had an extensive move off of here, which I publicly predicted on an interview with a broker. But nice moves here in 2015. Big run here, and then another potential handle to this cup here. Now, whether or not it comes this week or whether I've got to wait till next week, we'll see. That's assuming we go into the weekend holding up, of course. Look at the daily. You can see, a couple of topping tails up there, but I still think it's grinding higher. I mean, it reminds me of this level here. We had a decent push up here, very hesitant, waited for the 20 EMA, consolidated, and then ran. So we've got that kind of sort of hesitation here, and all the time we're closing above this line here, I will stay bullish. Right, moving across to the pound US. Same story. I think all these pound pairs. I'm just a pound bull. I think this pound has got the potential to break out big time. We are pausing on the back of all the data we've had this week. We had good GDP data from the UK, mediocre GDP from the US, and mediocre jobs data. Non-farm payroll next week. So I hope the markets don't hang around too much. We're waiting for non-farm payroll next week. But start of the month for trading on Monday, so that's going to be interesting. But to me, I like the chart pattern here. Now we're above this 155.30 and holding. I think this is a lovely consolidation pattern, and that could break. So, yeah, you might want to consider just buying pullbacks if you get them. So the pullback on this will be about 570, 550, 570 if you see it tomorrow. Take it easy on Friday. Not convinced we're going to get much of a move tomorrow. Having said that, it's the last trading day in July, so you might see some institutions trying to stock up inside of the end of the month. So, and the chart patterns are there. There's no telling when it's going to break, so you just need to buy pullbacks in a bullish pattern and then see where it takes you. And if you keep getting stopped out, then stop doing it. Right, moving on. So this pound CAD, this is a very, very good bullish consolidation. And you can see I've got an alarm set here for 960. To me, a consolidation ends when you get, if it's a bullish consolidation, then when you get a drop. So I'm looking for a drop next week to see if I can pick up a nice price, potentially 950, 960, but we may not get much under the 200 at all. We're currently 202.82. Okay, so we're very high. That's why if I am going to trade this, I do need a pullback. I can't. It's not in my trading plan to get in at that high. So if it runs without me, then I just have to live with that. Euro US, we just continue just to drift lower. Unless you got in at that high, this is a tough one to trade with the sort of volatile week we had this week. It is trying to pick up here around the 109 area. Certainly not a convincing effort by the bears if they are going to drag this down and continue to let this go. You might find if you are looking to get short this, if you are short this, you may find we just drift a little bit further up to the 950 mark or a little bit higher into that resistance again and then get another leg down. So a bearish consolidation there, or it's not consolidation, it is still trending down, but we have got decent support down there. If, however, we close above 110, then that opens the floodgates for a move back to the daily 200 there. And I mean, as we speak, the smaller time frames are pushing up. 20, 30, 40 points. No big deal at this stage, but they are making an attempt to push up. Right, so stay tuned on that one. And I've not traded. I did actually try a little long on this, on the very small position, but got stopped out. But it does appear to be trying to push up from here. Right, next one. Talked about this US dollar yen struggling up here on the back of that weak data, so I'm going to stand aside and leave that one. I would look at a pullback. If that dropped into 122 next week and held, I would consider a pullback. That will be the 100 EMA on that chart. Oil, I did take, I posted in the room a short signal. I did take 50 points off of it. As we speak, it's bounced at 20, 30, 40 points, but looks as if that could head lower. To me, this is a very bearish chart. We've come off support. We're getting a temporary little relief up here, a bit of short covering, but lots of overhang, which I think will start to see the another leg 3 coming down. Gold, I don't see any future in gold on the long side at this stage. A lot of the selling was done on Sunday night, and here we are just actually the Sunday was last week, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last week. I think, as with any consolidation pattern, that we do need a push to the upside. We do need some kind of lift up to recover some of this ground from this big Sunday bar. I think it was a Sunday bar. Monday bar, sorry. That was an overnight Monday. It dropped. So I do think we need some sort of recovery back into that to meet that 20 EMA for the next leg down. So I'm not looking to buy gold and certainly wouldn't buy miners. Finish with the indices. This is the Dow. Very congested. We have 50 minutes of trading left, and it's certainly making an effort to puncture that resistance, but that is you can see the fibs, the EMAs, the price resistance levels. It's a very congested area, and I would, if it punches up higher up, I would just look to get short higher up. I obviously want a retest of these levels up here if possible, but we could just roll over from here. So interested to see where we close at the weekend to map out possible moves for next week, but not touching that at the moment. Alright, I'll end it there, and I won't be in the trading room tomorrow. I'm not going to trade on Fridays. Going to let the markets do their thing tomorrow, and then do a lengthy plan at the weekend and give you the précis. Alright, thank you very much for listening, and happy trading.